What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN, OnyxCoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Okay, here we are at about 12.7 cents now. Moving down a little bit with the rest of the markets. You know, that happens. On a 4-hour basis, the RSI is so far performing more or less exactly as we've seen it happen before. We were thinking, and I still am thinking, that it's a little bit different now than any of these other times. We have moved down with great effort, not with minimal effort, right? Each of these times we just kind of moved down rather immediately. We're here, we messed around first, but we do have lower lows in the RSI. We are still going lower, it seems. Lower lows in the RSI with higher lows in the price is what we call hidden bullish divergence, and that could very well mean that we're about to move up. It wouldn't surprise me at all if OnyxCoin did move up from here, but what we would need to see is a close back above about 1.3 cents. If we can close above 1.3 cents on a 4-hour basis or any kind of significant time frame that's bigger than a 4-hour basis, I would consider that we are moving up higher. Okay, that doesn't mean that if we close up above 4 hours, that doesn't mean that we're just going to move up in a straight line. We could move up and then move down and then move up and then move down, right? It can be productive and meticulous. It doesn't have to be all at once. If we're looking at this on a 1-hour time frame here, 1-hour RSI is pointed downward. It would suggest that we have lower to go now. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we found a slightly higher low in the 1-hour time frame and a slightly lower low here, and that would promote bullish divergence on the 1-hour. Of course, we could go lower than that, but I think being here at this prior area of support could provide support now, right? Although looking at this from a low to a high, getting below your 886 would call for lower prices, to be fair. And I am expecting some big players to move down today, so maybe the RSI won't provide bullish divergence. Maybe it does see a deeper drive, something that's down here. It could see a deeper drive. You don't need bullish divergence to bounce, right? But it could happen. And actually, it looks like you do like to go down to this area, at least a lot lately. So maybe you do. Maybe you do go down lower. If you were to go lower, I'm not talking about a lower low than this, right? I'm talking about like 1.18 cents, 1.129 cents, right? Something like that. That'd be anything from about a 6% drop from here to maybe a 10% drop, something like that. You could find support down there. I wouldn't be surprised at all if you went down to these areas, especially with just how you're looking on this relative fib. I wish I started with that because that actually does convince me that you're going lower. It really does. Golden ratio 382 down to the 886, rejecting the 786. Yeah. Next target area is at least 1.2 cents, if not 1.13 cents, somewhere in there. If we were to go lower in this low, which I'm not expecting at this point in time, I'm not anticipating that, but if we were to go lower than this low here, the area that we would expect is about 0.0095 to 0.00844, if I remember correctly. In fact, I think we can just take that real quick from a low to a high. All right, that's why I didn't want to do this, because there's all this noise on there. But 0.00954, 0.00844, just trust me, that's what the numbers say right there. That could be where we go. It's not a bad thing if we go lower, guys. It's fine. I'm not expecting it to happen, but we've been here before. I can be wrong. I know it's crazy to believe, but I could be wrong. But I am expecting that we probably do see anything from like a 5 to or maybe like a 6 to a 11% drop from here at 1.268 cents. Of course, if we don't, by some miracle, close below 1.256, if we don't close below this relative 886 here, and we hold it, and as long as we're holding it, technically we don't have to go lower. It's not common to find support here, reject your 786, and then do anything but go lower. But as long as the 886 is holding, you don't have to go lower. So I would say if this holds and we don't close below here on an hourly basis or a 4-hour basis, anything more significant than that, I would think that we have a chance to go up. What you'd want to see if you are going up is a price above 1.3 cents. If you can get above 1.306, technically, it'd be 0.01306. I'm just saying in cents forms, right? 1.3 cents, that'd be in dollars, it'd be 0.01306, right? If you can get above there on a 1-hour closing basis, I would say that you're absolved of going lower at that point, and you likely will. And you have to close. You can't just wick above there. You have to close, because if you come up here and you wick through, but then you close right at it, and then you start moving down again, that would very much, at that point, I'd be very confident that we're going to lower prices. Okay, so there is still hope. But the 1-hour time frame begs to differ on the RSI. I wouldn't think that you stop here. 15-minute time frame. you're kind of in a downtrend. I don't know. The 15-minute time frame gives me a little bit of hope too. There is still hope. You don't have to go lower. It just wouldn't surprise me. And then of course the 4-hour with the hidden bullish divergence bouncing off the 40, it could be a thing, guys. We could be turning around right here. And if we do, that's fine. In fact, if we were to turn around from here, let's talk about the upside now, because you guys you know what to expect if we're going down, right? And if I had to lean one way or another, I would say I am leaning toward the downside, but that can quickly be invalidated, right? I would immediately, without even making a video, right? So that you know, I would flip upside if we close above 1.305 cents or whatever that number was, 1.3 cents essentially. If we see that, if by the time you watch this video we're there, any downside assumptions that I have are off the table, okay? But if we do go to the upside, which is a very real possibility, so let's address that. I think we should take this high, this relative high here, this relative low here. Come on now, get me. There we go. Yeah, man, we could be moving up to 1.6 to 1.7 cents, maybe by the end of today or sometime tomorrow, or higher. You know, something like that could happen. Again, we have been finding resistance on this trend line here, and I'm a little bit surprised that we're moving down even now, but the rest of the market moves down, you're going to move down too, right? Most of the time at least. But if we draw this line here, you kind of give it a line of best fit. We've broken out. And actually, wow, we're finding support on it right now, back testing it for support. That's awesome, man. There are good things. I wasn't even aware of that. I thought that we were still below this line. Wow. Yeah, look at that. That's not bad at all, you guys. Obviously, we have broken out and back tested it before, and it didn't amount to anything. But this time here, we rejected right down. This time here, rejected right down. These times here, you didn't even get close to this line. This time, you tipped it down, tipped down, broke through it, but then down, tipped it down. This time, you're flirting with it really hard, really hard. And now we're through it. We are still going lower. We're finding support on it, but this is a bit convincing, man. And I like the 4-hour, the hidden bullish divergence. Maybe I was too fast to say that we're going down. I'm also thinking that we go lower because I still think that there are some other big cryptos that dropped today, but I don't know, man. Maybe I have more hopes for this thing than I thought. And when I say that, I hope you understand that none of my downside targets were like pessimistic, right? We're talking about a higher low, and if it were to go to a lower low, that's still not even that bad. That's a great area to find support and buy more. It's nothing crazy. It's not a good time to sell. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you're selling here in this area, this is the worst time to sell because at any moment we could really just tear through the roof, and you'll be forced to buy it at higher prices, right? Let me just explain what I mean by that. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I'm assuming that you guys probably. You're probably all similar in your mentality, right? I'm probably similar in your mentalities too, right? We're not all that different after all, right? We're all human beings. And experience can change you a little bit. Don't get me wrong, not everybody's going to think the same, but I'm just going off of what I would assume the general person would think, okay? And I'm not trying to call you average, but let's just assume we're average. There's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with being an average person, right? Average people can do very exceptional things. But of course you want to be an exceptional person, but even the most exceptional people, even the people who are above average, they still have average thoughts. They still have similar thoughts. They might think about different things. I'm getting on a whole philosophical tangent here, but all I'm trying to say is let's just assume, let's put our minds in our thoughts in the minds of somebody who is maybe just the average investor. I would assume if you were to believe that the price is to go down and you sold here, okay, and then what happens is the price moves up like it did back here, and maybe you move up higher than this, maybe you move up just below it. Let's say you see the exact same move, okay, from a low to a high. That was a 37% move. Let's say that you see that from this low here, from this relative low, 37% move. So now the price is all the way up at 1.7 cents. Okay, my thoughts would be this: if I was somebody who incorrectly sold at the relative low areas, if I sold here, my thoughts would be that the reason why I'm selling is I want to maximize my potential profits, right? I really want to, hold on, let's see. I want to maximize my profits. So if I sold here, I'm thinking I could just buy lower, get more coins. Maybe it goes even lower than that. I'll get more coins. Maybe it goes lower than C-Zar's even expecting. I'll get more coins, right? That's the whole purpose. I want more coins, damn it. That's why I'm selling here. Even though it's at a really bad place to sell, I want more coins. Why? Because when it rips, I want more coins for that rip. But here's the thing. Look at how much bigger this rip will be. Because we all believe, I think everybody watching this video believes that XCN will see prices above 10 cents, above 13 cents whenever the time comes, right? And probably even higher than that ultimately, right? We're thinking 20 cents or more. 30 cents is even a possibility. And we're only at 1.2 cents now. So people are worried about this short-term stuff, missing out on this. You should be worried about this. You should be worried about the thing that I have to scope the chart out so far for you to get to, right? That's what you should be worried about missing. And I have a feeling that if you sell here and we start to move up like this, we see a move similar to this, we go right here, that's exactly what's going to happen. Right now, you're worried about missing the downside move. You're not worried about the upside move, and I think you should be. But whenever you get a move like this, you will immediately, the dots will connect. You're like, well, now I just got to suck it up. Now instead of getting more coins, I just got to eat it. I got to get in here so that I can at least be a part of this move at all. And then what happens if it goes down, right? Then you're stuck. You're stuck with less coins. You're stuck in a more higher elevated emotional state. Don't do that to yourself. Just hold, man. Just hold. It's not financial advice. Do whatever you want. Make the right decisions for yourself. I hope you do. But it's not worth it. It's not worth it. This is not the time to sell. The last opportunity to sell was here. The time before that, it might have been any of these highs here or all the way back here, right? But at the lows, no, these are not. This is obviously the lowest areas that we've been at, and this is at previous areas of resistance. It's not the time to sell now. Don't play the game. Why? Because at any moment we could rip, just like we did before. And if we do, that's going to force you to buy back in. And if you don't buy back in, even worse, you're going to miss the rest of the move. But you're playing this game for something that's not worth it, right? The risk to reward is not worth it if you're doing this sell to buy back in lower. Now, watch you sell and you get the opportunity to buy at lower prices than this. You're like, haha, C-Zar, I did it anyways, man, and I was right. Good for you. I'm glad. And I hope I hope if you sold here, I hope we go lower. I don't want to see people get screwed. I don't want to see people miss out on this opportunity. But that's the main reason why I'm advocating that nobody play the game right now. I'm not playing the game. I'm waiting. I'm sitting on my hands. I'm not doing anything. I'm here talking about it, right? But that's about it. I would assume your mentality right now is you're worried about missing this move. But as soon as we get a rip, wherever it might be too, 30% move from here or something, then you're going to be worried about missing this rip. And all along throughout this whole time frame, you should be worried about missing that because it's off the charts. We have to scope out just to even see where we're going, man. You know what I mean? Like it's off the charts. So I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Do not be afraid if we go a little bit lower. And even if we do go a lot lower, quote unquote, we've already seen most of the drop. Even if we go a little bit down here, you shouldn't be worried about this move. It's a prime opportunity to buy, if anything. I even think that now is a great time to buy. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I literally bought at these areas here. That was my most recent purchase on XCN. If that shows or if that says anything at all. Some people really have this obsession. I guess I'll end this with this. People want me to show my buy orders and my sell orders, and I get that that's something that a lot of people in crypto do. I've never been one to flaunt my money. I've never been one to want to involve anybody in my money. I don't want people to know or the government to know or any other people. And they already know, right? You have to report things, but I don't want this to be public information, right? This is my finances, my wealth, right? If I went up and I said, hey, show me your latest bank transaction. That's what you're asking me to do here. And yes, this is an investment. It's different, but essentially it's the same thing. I treat this like my life savings, right? My life savings is in crypto. My biggest bag is XCN. Why would I talk about, like I'm going to tell you that, right? But I'm not going to give you numbers. I've never been a numbers person. You can ask my friends. I've never been a numbers person. It's just not my thing. I don't like to brag about numbers. I know that that's not like not like the average person, right? Whenever they make $1 million, whenever they make $100,000 in a week, they like to brag about it. Whenever I had my first experience making $100,000 in a 24-hour period, and then that happened again 2 weeks later. Whenever that happened to me the first time, you know what I didn't do? I didn't brag about it on Facebook. I didn't brag about it on social media. I told some people that were close to me. I told them and I showed them, but that was it, right? That was it. And I only showed them not to brag, but I guess to brag, but not to like rub it in their face or like be like, haha, I was right all the time, but because it was something that I was proud of. It's like if a craftsman makes something they're really proud of, they might show it to their friends or people that matter, right? They might post it online, but they're not going to post, this is how much it's worth. This is how much it costs. This is how much, if you want to buy it, I made this multi-$1,000 piece of equipment. Like maybe some people do, but those are people that like, that kind of stuff matters to them. It doesn't matter to me. I don't need to look flashy or anything like that. So for anybody out there that's asking why I don't post my trades, it's because it's not your business. It's none of your business. And I could just lie, right? People say that you could just post the buy order itself. You don't have to post the amount that you bought. Okay, well, what if I just bought 1 cent worth? I could literally say that I bought at any price that I wanted to then, and I don't do that, right? If I was lying, I'd be like, guys, I bought the exact low, and to be fair, I did buy pretty damn low, but not the exact low. I bought, like, my lowest price was right here, basically, like right at these areas here, right? If I wanted to lie, I guess I don't know. I would do it in a way that wouldn't seem obvious, so I wouldn't call for the exact low every single time. But you would never know. You would never know unless I showed you my dollar amount, which I refuse to do. So stop asking me. I'm not going to show you my dollar amounts. You can show yours to all your friends that you want. You can show yours to anybody that cares. I don't care. I don't care if you don't care. I don't care if you do care. It's my money. It's not yours. It's not your business. And that's all I got to say. All right. I'm not one of those people. I don't care about numbers. Some people do. I know a lot of wealthy people do. But even then, they probably don't tell you what their full net worth is, right? They might tell you what they have, like, in their, like, biggest assets, stuff like that, but they're not going to tell you their full. Maybe some people do, and it's okay. And also, no offense to my multimillionaire friends out there. If you are someone to brag about your wealth, if you achieved something, if you worked really hard for it, that's cool. That's fine. I'm not trying to make fun of people like that. I'm not saying that. There are some people that are like that are bad, but I'm sure we all know who we're talking about there, that just act like money is everything. But that's not me. That's not my style, and that doesn't mean that people who flaunt their wealth or brag about their wealth are bad people. That's not what I'm saying at all, right? You have your right. It's your wealth. It's your right. It's your business to share it or not share it with whoever you want. That doesn't make you a good person or a bad person. It makes you whatever type of person you are. And me, I'm the type of person that doesn't care to flaunt my wealth or talk about it or show people what my exact price is at what dollar amount, right? I tell you my percentages of my portfolio, right? Out of all the XCN that I bought 5, Economic Ninja for one. He said, he's like, I bought 25% more. I added 25% to my portfolio. I'm the same way, right? I said I added about 5%, not 25%, but this purchase was about 5% extra to my portfolio, right? So whatever that's worth, that to me is significant. You don't need numbers. You just gotta. I don't know. I'm on a whole different tangent here, but I'm gonna end the video there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. You're not going to know what my numbers are. That's just not how I am. Okay, bye-bye.